Hey guys, welcome to the Power Network. I'm Amy. Today we're diving into the heartbreaking case of Maddie Soto. With Stefan Sterns heading to trial on July 22nd, the question everyone's asking, will Jennifer Soto take the stand? As of now, we're unsure. It's a question that's heating up as the case heads to court. We're going to break down what we know, what we don't, and what could be next in the search for justice for Maddie. I'm going to roll credits while the rest of the Power crew rolls in. Shout out to my Power Dragonflies. I love you, babies.
I was standing by my window on a cold and cloudy day when I saw that hearse come rolling for to carry my mother away. I told the Undertaker, please drive slow, for this body you are holding, Lord, I hate to see her go. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by?
All right, guys. So before we get started, if we can do that algorithm dance party that I like to do, to start warming up your fingers and dancing them right up to the hearts and thumbs up button. We're coming to you today on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Hey, y'all. How you doing? Giving me the thumbs up just helps us dance out into the algorithm, party out there, find more interesting people, bring them back to our safe space where we like to have a lot of fun. We have a lot of snark, but we do it in a way that is all kind and respectful to one another, I would say. All right. Thank you guys for giving me those thumbs up. It's really, really appreciated. So yesterday we talked about Stefan Sterns and his upcoming trial on the 22nd. They're starting jury deliberations or jury selection on the 22nd. They expect the trial to start on the 25th of July. And in it, I was through the whole thing. I was like, where's Jenn? Jenn's the mother. And I wanted to know, like, where's Jenn? Has Jenn been charged? And so I asked AI, where is Jennifer Soto? And it said, based on the available information, Jennifer Soto's role and status. Jennifer Soto is the mother of Madeline Soto. Authorities have stated that they are not seeking to file charges against Jennifer Soto related to Madeline's death. However, documents and reports suggest that Jennifer Soto may have been aware of and potentially enabled the alleged abuse of Madeline by Stefan Sterns. Sterns was reportedly the boyfriend of Jennifer Soto and the man accused of unaliving Maddie. Case information: when it happened, Maddie Soto was reported missing on February 26, 2024. Her body was found 5 days later on March 1st, 2024. Who do they believe did it? Stefan Sterns, Jennifer Soto's boyfriend, is the individual charged with Maddie's murder. He is also facing numerous charges related to the actual abuse of Madeline. In fact, there will be two separate cases, trials. The one that is coming up is the ex abuse on the minor. Jennifer Soto reportedly sent Madeline to sleep in the same bed as Stefan Sterns the night before her disappearance, citing the need for rest due to a new job. New documents suggest that Jennifer Soto may have known about the alleged abuse of Madeline by Sterns, with one detective stating that Jennifer accepted the victimization of her daughter. Stefan Sterns' trial trials for both the ex abuse and charges and the murder charges are scheduled to take place later in 2025. So, as reported yesterday, they are scheduled to take place July at the end of this month, 22nd, for the ex abuse, and then in September for the actual murder. There is rumors that he might be taking a plea deal, but there has been no plea deal given as of yet. So, and so this is all my opinion, my research for entertainment and educational purposes only. I urge you to go out there and do your own research. Everything that we view will be put down in the YouTube show notes. We do this to cite our sources and for fair play use. I will often stop things, start and talk over them, or I won't read everything in its entirety, but everything will be there for you. So let me get my screen up here and let's get going. Today we are coming to you on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And I am asking you to share out this content. YouTube is really trying to unroll their community. And so on your phone now, you can share and you can post to our community, your favorite YouTubers community section. And so, yeah, if you could just share my content out to your community section, that would be really, really appreciated. Okay. Also, I want to point out we do have a few playlists over on the PWR Network. One is Florida Woman Fridays. We have some Jenn Soto stuff in there. We've got some Sarah Boone. We've got some other cases that are crazy that have to do with Florida. We've got some, I like to talk about prison. We've got some of the executions that have taken place in Florida. And we also have a Maddie Soto playlist. We started covering her case 9 months ago. And so if you want to see what we've done so far, we've done it alone. And we also have had Alora from Into the Weeds podcast join us for one or two, I don't remember, deep dive lives on this case. So if you are wanting more from this channel, we do have it, and we do plan on following this case in trial, hopefully maybe even hitting the courtroom a few days so that we can bring it to you live that way. All right, so today we are looking at Jennifer Soto. What do you guys think about Jennifer Soto? I mean, I would be shocked if anybody has any favorability towards this woman, because she basically, and this is all my opinion, served her daughter up on a silver platter to Stefan Sterns. And I realize that it's so hard to be nice when because this, to me, even if Maddie hadn't been unalived, regardless, I feel Jennifer Soto should be in prison now for the way that she treated her daughter, allowed her daughter to be treated. Yeah, I have a real problem with Jennifer Soto. How do you guys feel about Jennifer Soto? And I'm just hoping that we don't understand what's going on yet. We just don't quite get what the police are doing here. Are they trying to make her a sympathetic witness so that she will testify for them? So that it's not against her will. A question was brought up yesterday. Did they think Jennifer Soto would be sitting in the courtroom? And I thought, like, wow, that's a good question. Do I think Jennifer Soto will have the nerve to drag her butt into the courtroom? And I don't know. I'm like, where is she? And then that was my question. Where is she even? Because she seems to not be getting too much mainstream press. So I wanted to look at Jennifer Soto. Is she going to testify? And where is she? So that's on the agenda today. So first up, I have from WFTV 9, Madeline Soto case. Police have no plans to charge Jennifer Soto. This was back in 24. This was written in August of 24, so, or that's when it was last updated. The Kissimmee Police Department has no plans to file charges against Jennifer Soto, the mother of Madeline Soto, a 13-year-old girl whose body was discovered in rural Osceola County earlier this year. Sources told Channel 9's Shannon Butler that Jennifer Soto has done nothing criminal so far, so she will not face charges. I guess that tells us, like, we know there's a lot of video on Stefan Sterns' phone. So I guess that means that Jennifer Soto is not in any of those videos. I'm assuming but she's done nothing to be charged. Madeline Soto was reported missing after Hunters Creek Middle School, where Madeline attended, alerted Jennifer Soto that she did not make it to school February 26th. Madeline Soto was supposed to be dropped off by Jennifer Soto's boyfriend, Stefan Sterns, but according to the investigators, Sterns did not drop off the girl. Sterns was charged February 28th with X battery and possession of child X material. On April 24th, he was also charged with first-degree murder in connection with Madeline Soto's unaliving. Here is, I just want to give you a reminder. He appeared one day in court for his pre-trial.
13-year-old Madeline Soto was in court this morning for what could be his last hearing before he does go on trial.
Stefan Sterns is accused of abusing Madeline Soto for years and killing her the day after her 13th birthday party. As West 2's Bob Hazen reports, a judge made rulings today on what Sterns will be allowed to do during the trial.
That trial is set to start next week, and we now know that Stefan Sterns will have to wear a leg brace to keep him from running away. And the judge also raised the possibility of having to close the courtroom at certain times. You could hear the shackles clanking as Stefan Sterns walked into court this morning, but when a jury sees him next week, those cuffs will be off. A court deputy testified today about the other.
Stefan Sterns doesn't strike me as a person that is going to run nor take a felt pen and put it into another human's body. Stefan Sterns strikes me as the deviant person that sneaks around and takes video and tries to make himself basically very appealing to a preteen. He strikes me as that kind of person. He doesn't strike me as in a crowded courtroom to do any of this. So it doesn't matter to me if he has shackles or he doesn't have shackles or he's given a pen or a pencil. I really don't care.
Other options to keep him under control, including a stun cuff they could use to shock him if he tried to run, or a leg brace.
I would like to see him shot.
I would say rather a bit more cumbersome because it's strapped alongside the leg of the person, and if they stretch their leg, it'll snap shut.
The judge ruled Sterns will have to wear that brace. He'll also be able to use a felt pin, despite concerns that it could be used as a weapon. Sterns is facing two separate criminal cases, one for allegedly murdering 13-year-old Madeline Soto, who was the daughter of his girlfriend. The other is for 60 charges that he raped Maddie for years and recorded video of it on his phone. The trial for that sexual abuse case set to start next Tuesday.
So that's the one that's set to start Tuesday. They are supposed to be doing jury selections.
Murdering and sexually abusing 13-year-old Maddie Soto was in court for a hearing just yesterday. We are now just days away from his first trial. A judge told Stefan Sterns that he will be allowed to wear a suit to trial, but he's also going to have to wear stun cuffs around his ankles. Sterns will also be allowed to use a felt tip pen to take notes when the trial begins.
We talked about this yesterday. It's not surprising that he's being allowed to dress like a big boy in court because that's what the judge wants him to. Oh God, what is that guy's name from? All right, I'm gonna have to look it up because I couldn't remember his name yesterday. And he is hold on. Daryl Brooks, that's his name. Remember when Daryl Brooks went to court and he tried to come to, I don't know if you guys watched that trial, but he tried to come to trial one day and he was dressed in his bright orange jumpsuit and they wouldn't let the jury come in. They want them in street clothes because they don't want the jury to be swayed for any reason at all so that it could be a mistrial. So it's not a big deal that they're letting him wear the big boy stuff. But my question in all of that yesterday was, is Jennifer Soto going to testify in court? That was my big question with all of this. And it looks like another major news reporter has been talking about that question, because just as I got off with the live, and I said it on the live, I see that Vinny was doing a live. Will Jenn Soto testify against Stefan Sterns? Because I'm like, where is Jenn? What is going on with Jenn? I don't know why, but Jenn is the one that I am very focused on. I guess it's because we have Stefan Sterns in custody. We know where he is, and I feel like Jenn could very well be a problem out there in society. And all that I have looked into, and it's just me looking into it, and this is just my opinion, but Jenn needs to be held to the fire too. So let's see what Vinny, Jonesy, and Albert H. Wunsch has to say about all of that. If you guys could be sure to give this live a thumbs up, helps us dance out into the algorithm, pretty out there, bring more people back. It's just a free way to help me out, and it's really, really appreciated.
It's happening next week. Stefan Sterns is the first of two trials. The second one, he's facing a potential DPEN, but he's facing life for this, and it's a case involving all the images depicting all of his conduct involving Maddie Soto, beginning, I believe, at age 8. So this trial, I don't know how he's going to defend himself. We can talk about that. But another big issue in this case is Jenn Soto. Will she testify? Does the prosecution need her to testify? If she gets up on the stand, what will she say? What will the jury think of her? That is the subject of this video. I'm Vinny Politan. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Tangent Podcast. Along with me, below me, is Al Wunsch III.
I feel like he's doing this first case, this axe assault case, to dip his toes in the waters to see like how well he's going to do on this, and then he will decide if he will take a plea deal for the second case. But it seems like maybe the prosecutors, I just looked up, is he facing the death penalty for the murders? And I guess he could possibly, they haven't said yet if he's facing it. So I think he's just trying to see what happens with this case first, but I don't know if that's a good strategy or not. I can't possibly see how he could defend himself with all the evidence they say they found on his phone.
Hola, Tangenistas.
And in the bottom right-hand side of your screen, ladies and gentlemen, is the radio legend himself, the one and only Jonesy.
Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey.
And this is the Tangent Podcast.
Okay.
The judge goes, well, don't be a dick like that.
Oh!
You know,
Parkfield, New Jersey, by the way.
yes, you speak of Joey Checker, Vinny. He had 2 hits with the twist. He had the twist, and then let's twist again like we did last summer. I prefer that one.
Yeah. So how does the first one go?
Come on, buddy.
Very specific mark on them.
Okay.
Specific mark that his girlfriend might recognize.
Shades of Michael Jackson.
It's shades of the Michael Jackson question.
And the movie Porky's.
And the movie Porky's. But that's not going to matter anyway, because they already have photographs of his genitalia and other things that they had gotten pursuant to a warrant. And so they can.
So apparently Stefan has something very identifiable on his nether regions, and it was on the tapes with Maddie.
Easily have someone go comparing the two. They don't need her. Putting her on the stand.
So you wouldn't have a photo array?
Yeah, well, yes,
Like a lineup, like
That's
a
right.
photo lineup
that's right. And then, just kind of,
in the middle.
and then you go, I'm not sure. And then the judge goes, well, don't be a dick, like that.
You gentlemen have hit upon something that's even lower than my thought process. I have never thought about a lineup of penises.
Oh, yes. Well, it's an identity. You always have that moment in the courtroom where you have you seen that person before? Yes, I see him right there. Well, in these images, in these videos, I believe that we don't see his face in all of them, if any of them, but we do see a close enough shot of his stuff that apparently has a very specific marking on it.
But the bottom line is that he still has the possession of it, and they're not. You can't put her on the stand.
Did they? I'm surprised. I mean, if he has it's in the videos, and if it's recognizable, then why not? I say why not? It's just like if you had a tattoo or a scar or something like that, or had a weird finger or a big nose, a small nose, a hair, a wart on your nose, not a wart on, it's just, why not?
Jenn Soto would be a disaster in this trial, an absolute disaster. And it'll confuse the issues, and it'll confuse the jury.
How about to identify her daughter?
No, wouldn't be necessary to do that either.
How about to identify where the pictures are taken? Like
because
home?
once again, you can go in and have
time. Okay, so for the essay case, she's not necessary, is what you're saying.
That's correct. She's necessary for the next trial, and I wouldn't want to put her in a position where they're going to use her.
Okay, I get what he's saying. So he's saying for this trial, Jenn really isn't necessary. She's not going to be a strong witness. So chances are, that makes like a lot of sense, actually. Chances are she won't be called to this one, which means chances are we're not going to see her, because I don't think Jenn will have the nerve to walk her butt into that courtroom. I just don't.
Abuse her.
I would like her to have the nerve. I wish she had the nerve, but I don't think she does.
On the stand, and then be able to use that at the next trial.
If she had the nerve, then she would have had the nerve to protect her daughter in life, and she didn't have that nerve.
Trial. So the bottom line is you're going to preserve her. You're not going to use her for this, and it's still going to be a slam dunk. You don't need that.
You know how I feel about that term. Slam dunks are not easy. There is no one on the show right now that can slam dunk, so it's not easy.
Well,
okay.
I can't even
on a 7-foot hoop, I can.
Right. But a slam dunk is not an easy shot. Like,
well, it's not an easy shot, but the bottom line is that in a situation like this,
easy, an uncontested layup.
But there's too much evidence in this case against him. There's not going to be any. It's ridiculous that they're even going to trial, but they are. So
Ann Williams, hello, buddies. How are you, Albert?
Oh, I'm
How
fine.
are you, Albert? Ann wants to know. Thank you, Ann.
Ann, I'm fine. Thank you.
Not to be confused with Ann B. Williams. She had to use the B because she didn't want to be confused with Ann Williams. Isn't that the name of the maid?
Ann B. Davis.
Oh, Ann B. Davis.
From the Brady Bunch. That was Ann B. Davis. Because was there another Ann Davis?
I imagine so. In most cases, when someone takes on an initial.
Let's keep going.
The case. They don't need any help on this case. And just putting that picture of him up there shirtless, which is one of the most frightening pictures I've ever seen in my life, and it absolutely just multiplies 200,000% how horrible.
I mean, ew! I just feel heartbroken for Maddie that's what she had to deal with, like in her 13 short years. It's just so heartbreaking.
That poor little girl's life was having to deal with this piece of scum.
See, he said the same
it
thing.
breaks my heart even more seeing this. It's just,
if I saw this photo and I didn't know anything about its background and asked what I thought it was, I think I would probably say I think it's some sort of like alleged criminal.
Yeah, this is the money.
He used to have breasts and then have breast surgery. Is that because it looks like he had I can't remember what it's called when men have breast mastitis or something like that. It looks like he has some of that going on.
Shot right here.
That picture is just even worse. Okay, that's like the agony with no ecstasy.
And what's that? A sheet around his
it's a shirt, isn't it?
It might be a shirt or a towel. It was just before he had to take, I guess, the pictures of his
Genitals.
his nether
In nether regions.
the nether regions. But yeah, this is the
Neither.
one that's like the
Netherlands.
what is that? The sack of potatoes? What is that? What do we call this one?
No, thank you, regions.
I call it barf.
The no regions.
Well, folks, you did remind me, so I'm allowing you to enjoy this right now.
Yeah, thanks, folks. Let's start mentioning his blue eyes now, folks, so we can be reminded of that.
You realize you just pulled the trigger on that, Al.
But because I had to bring that up, that the fact is that they reminded him of this, and so you know what the next thing is going to be. So I'm just moving ahead.
What's a
For those of you pouring at home,
Diamond Girl says that is the onesie they put on him when they took his clothes. Yeah, because you had to examine the clothes for evidence, right? So
yeah.
What's a onesie?
It's a onesie. It's a Fisher Blue saying his paper jumpsuit that they gave him to wear. Thank you, Fisher Blue.
Nice.
So it's like sometimes if you go to the doctor, you get like that little paper thing you have to wear. You get an MRI or something.
That you have to tie in the back.
Yeah.
It's not
once I put it on backwards accidentally.
Not the big boy clothes he wants to wear in trial.
What's it like?
Here, Jane's trying to get everything started today. Anyone for egg salad?
Okay.
Oh, no sense whatsoever. The poll is.
All right.
She not know, right?
Oh, okay.
Kidney
So
in
it looks like they're going into one of the weirdest things that Jenn Soto has said, like that she had been Woody Allen.
Yeah. Well, that's because they're shaped like a kidney. They don't taste like a kidney.
I know, but I just can't get over that.
Yeah, not a fan.
Yeah, indeed. So getting back to Jenn Soto. So what I want to play, I'm going to put it up here. I'm going to play for you because, again, once you start talking about Jenn Soto, everyone
What
talks
point
about,
do they start-
did she know, did she not know?
At what point are they going to start talking about if she's going to testify? It sounds like the only thing that we've gotten so far was from Albert, and that she's not needed to testify, which makes complete sense. So now I'm like 90% sure that she's not testifying. I mean, but I only say 90 because I always I don't think I'm 100% sure on anything in life except that you're born and that you die. Those, I'm pretty sure on that, and that you need to breathe, but on the basics, but on the stuff that comes in between now, I'm not even sure because I feel like the world is upside down right now. So, but what do you guys think? Are we going to see Jennifer Soto in the courtroom in July? I don't think we are. I don't think we're going to see her at all. And yeah, I think they will call her in September though. If you're just joining us, they're basically, Albert had said that basically she's a weak witness. They probably won't bring her in July, but they will use her in September. And the reason they're not bringing her in July because the evidence is so strong.
Right. So I'm going to play for you what I believe is the most incriminating statement that she has made in all of this. Let me just remove this and let me get this because, she's given long statements. There were some things she said didn't make sense, but to the most potentially incriminating statement by her of her knowledge of what was happening to her daughter, I believe is in this statement. 1 second. Here we go. It's the statement I call Woody Allen fear.
Told him that my biggest fear is that this would turn into a Woody Allen situation where the stepdaughter or the dad grooms the child and the child then turns 18 and ends up running away with him. I told him that was my biggest fear and I don't ever want that happening. You can't do that to me.
Why would you say that to him?
And if that was her biggest fear, why on earth would you send her to go sleep with him or him sleep with her? I forget. But why? Why would you do that? Ugh. Stand her. I can't stand her. They're crocodile tears.
You can't do that to me.
To me, right?
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with Madeline. The fact that your child is being groomed by a man
absolutely makes me livid.
I would not let you do that to me.
A mother not
Woody Allen
protecting their child makes me livid.
She is just absolutely detestable. Absolutely detestable.
What did you think of the crying at the end of the statement there?
Yeah, what I think of the crying is
I mean,
it's
for
woe is
herself.
me. That's what it is. It's her tears for herself because now she's got no one else in her life because he's going down the river and up the river and
river.
I mean it's disgusting, and they didn't charge this one. It's just and what they gave her derivative use immunity. I mean it's so horrendous that she is not being charged. It just blows my mind. Blows my mind.
Well, to me, that was the most telling of all the statements that have been made.
Well, that and the fact that she knew they were sleeping in a bed together. I mean, like that's
No, she told them to do it.
Exactly. I mean, so like anything any more than that.
Right.
Oh, God, and then you're going to put her on the stand? I mean, believe me, the jury's going to go, can we convict her too?
Well, that's the fear. Well, the fear is that they don't say, will we convict her too, or we should be going after her and not him for some reason.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen.
That'll happen, but I think that's always the fear, because the defense will obviously attempt to divert attention away from the defendant, and that's what they do. But I don't know, like that. Like, where does that statement even come from?
That is her.
How do you even get that in your mind? First of all, I didn't believe that Jenn Soto had that level of awareness of the world to be cognizant of Woody Allen and Soon Yi, right? Like, did you?
Yeah, that's a good point.
That shocks
a good point.
That she would even know about Woody Allen and Soon Yi.
That only shocks me because she seems kind of young in that regard. I think, anybody who was of a certain age remembers.
I don't know, but I heard from somebody in the audience yesterday. They told me that Jenn was getting Botox. So I think Jenn is a little bit older than we think she is. She just gets the Botox to make her look younger.
Sad news story.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it dominated the tabloids when it was happening, but it was years ago. It was years and years ago. I don't know what year it was, but she had to be young when that happened. I mean, was it 25 years ago? 30 years?
It's got to be at least that. I mean,
it sounds like a 90s thing, right? Let me see. I'll look it up.
Say like 1989 for some reason.
Yeah, but there was just that docu-series that came out on Dylan. Oh, I guess she's only 28 years old. How is she? Why is Maddie Soto's mother, who's only as of July 16th, 2025, Jennifer Soto, Maddie Soto's mother, is 28 years old. Really? I don't know why, but that shocks me, because how old is Stefan Sterns? How old is Stefan Sterns? Let me see. He's 37. Okay. Well, I think it's not so shocking that even if Maddie's mom is only 28, because there was that docuseries that came out, and Jennifer does strike me as someone who would be into true crime. And there was a whole docuseries on what Woody Allen did to Dylan. So, oops. So I think that's what, it's not so surprising to me, but maybe it is to you guys.
This is the number that popped into my head, but sometimes that works.
Let's see. Oh,
I know they got married in 97, if I'm not mistaken, right? Didn't they, or something like that?
Here we go. In January of 1992, this is according to Reddit, Mia Farrow found nude photographs of Soon Yi in Woody Allen's home.
Right. Okay. And he was 56 and she was, I think, 21 or something.
I forgot about the photographs. So she knew about the photographs. I mean, that makes it even more incriminating. Like the analogy of Woody and Stefan Sterns.
Maybe she looked it up because of the situation that was going on.
But how would she know to look up Woody Allen?
Yeah, right? that's not,
I mean, how old is she?
She probably saw the docuseries.
When was
the docuseries?
She's probably 40, right?
I'd say she's probably in her 30s. I'm not even sure she's 40.
I think she is, because her daughter was 13.
13. So, I mean, she could have had the kid when she was 15.
I don't believe she's 28.
All right. Let me see. I'm trying to find her age. I'm sure our chat room has the age already. Let me check in the chat room. Does anyone know Jenn Soto's age? She's close to 40. She's in her 30s.
Okay.
I've been saying close to 40. So, like,
AI was definitely wrong on that. She's not 28. There is a, I think, an Olympic somebody that is named Jennifer Soto. There's some athlete, so that's probably who they were saying. That's probably where they got the age of 27.
If that controversy goes back to the 90s, it's at least 25, almost 30
you can see here. You can see here, I asked when did Dylan have the docuseries, and Dylan Farrow did not release a docuseries, but there was an HBO docuseries, Allen versus Farrow, which focused on the accusations against Woody Allen, was released in 2021. So I bet you that's why she had the Woody Allen thing on her mind.
Was it part of Me Too? Did it sort of resurface during Me Too?
Not really.
Allen
I
situation.
don't recall it resurfacing. No.
I don't
And I wish I
recall that
could
coming
just
out
tell
at that
them
point.
that it's a
Again,
docuseries.
In fact, it's one of those Hollywood things that somehow PR agents
I'm sending it right now through osmosis. Are they going to get it?
handle to the point where people don't
Docuseries.
give it much thought.
Yeah, I mean, it was big, and then it's just poof, it disappeared.
well, it was big because of, I mean,
But he hasn't done anything. Like he doesn't make movies anymore. What does he do? He just
no,
has
he made movies.
Yeah, I think
He continues to make movies.
really
Yeah. Yep.
good ones.
I mean, look, the problem is that I enjoy his early stuff. I mean, his early films were just hilarious. I mean, Bananas is probably one of the funniest movies. Take the Money and Run. Okay, Everything You Want to Know About Sex, but We're Afraid to Ask.
Right.
Manhattan is an excellent movie. Okay, but Manhattan, he laid the seeds of what was going to eventually happen, because in that movie he was dating a very, very young woman. It was a young girl. Okay, in that. Annie Hall is an excellent movie. So I mean,
those are decades ago.
I know, but those are the movies I like from him. But I mean, but you know what? Whatchamacallit? The one where he played
Zelda.
No,
The Front was a very good movie, but that wasn't his movie.
that wasn't his movie. He was in it, but that wasn't his movie. Zero Mostel was in that movie too.
Yes.
That's still decades ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was in the 60s actually.
Yes, all
Like,
this stuff
is there anything in the last
What is the
15 years
freaking
of
point?
note that would put him in the
All right.
headlines?
All right, I'm going to move us forward. I was just trying to see if they would get that it actually probably came from the docuseries that came out in 21, but I don't think they're getting it.
Here, I'll get a.
We worked with Humphrey
Oh, somebody
Bogart.
finally said
Woody
it.
Farrow's
It was a Netflix
actually-
show at the time.
Woody Allen's son.
No,
Yes.
no way.
So they're wondering, they think like one of the biggest red flags is the fact that Jennifer Soto said she didn't want to be Woody Allen, and they wanted to even know why she would even know Woody Allen, but I believe it's because of the docuseries. And getting back onto target, why is it that Jen thought she would be Woody Allen? Why was she, if that was what she was fearful of, then why in fact did she send her daughter to sleep with Woody Allen, basically?
Have some understanding of the allegations. Elise, we don't want to see these pictures on screen, man.
Now, like I said, will she
The
testify?
question is, why isn't Jennifer Soto being charged? And let's keep going. All right, let me move forward and see if they get back onto topic. And then
At his next trial, because there'll be an aggravating factor.
Is that, look, they were in the house, but I didn't know. Okay, when it's
Right.
on your phone and it's on your computer, okay,
different.
and they have all the other stuff.
Your Google Drive. It's your Google Drive. You have to prove that you've been hacked over the course of, and remember, this is over the course of years.
so is that going to be what his testimony, like that he was hacked somehow and somebody put all these pictures of his penis and Jennifer, or his neither regions and Jennifer's daughter in these videos? Does he even have a leg to stand on? I don't think so.
And you can't even make an AI argument because these images are created before AI.
Right, but Photoshopping has been around for a long
Right,
time.
Photoshop.
Photoshopping's been around since the
But
50s.
there's also videos. It's not just still images. There's videos also with audio.
Right, like I said, this is the bizarre thing about this, and that's why I'm not sure. Anything can happen in this trial. And you said he's not going to take the stand. I've never gotten someone up to this point, okay, where the evidence seems to be so overwhelming, and he's going, "Oh, let me take my chance."
I think there's still a chance that he just pleads guilty.
I think so too. But I wonder if he's going to be another Sarah Boone that just wants his 15 minutes of fame. But I mean, he basically knows he's going away for life, but is it just depends. Is it going to be, this one is only life, but is it going to be on his next one? Will it be life or death? So that's the question.
Rather than face the,
we discussed.
Remember how many times he's avoided being in the courtroom when this first happened? He didn't want to be in the courtroom. He didn't want. This is a public trial. He knows that this is a public trial. He knows this is Florida. He knows what the law is in Florida. The sun is shining in Florida. The public has a right to see everything happening in a public trial, except obviously these images. But they have a right to see him and hear the evidence against him. And maybe he doesn't want that to be made public to somehow save face. I think and those images will be relevant though at his next trial, because they'll be an aggravating factor during the penalty phase if he's convicted. If he's convicted in the Red Rum case, then this case becomes, that's why this one's first, because you want to get the conviction on this and use it as an aggravating factor when you're going for the D-pen in the next trial.
And that's why I think that there's going to be a plea workout on this. That is going to be a global settlement.
I sort of think there's going to be a plea too, that he's just waiting for the last minute. Like, he's one of those people that he knows he's got attention, so he's just stringing it along to the last minute. You mean encompassing both cases?
I don't know the prosecutor down there. I don't know what this prosecutor's made of. This is another case where we are talking about the worst of the worst. Someone who has groomed and abused someone over the course of years, the most vulnerable of all victims in a case. And then you talk about all the conduct. And this wasn't like a one-time thing. Like, he started when they can prove, according to prosecutors, that he started when she was 8 years old, and the conduct continued for years.
I need to take a 2-minute break, if you don't mind. I have a judge on another line.
We'll just pretend we're not here. We'll listen in. Could you imagine?
That would be.
The judge is calling. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, so let's keep going. It sounds to me like they all agree that Maddie or Jennifer Soto is not going to be showing up. Sorry, I am like fighting a sneeze. It's I've been having migraines and stuff like that, and the dust that's been stirred up has been really bad lately, and so I am fighting a sneeze, and my nose is getting suddenly really stuffed up. But let's keep going. I wanted to go over to Reddit and see what they were saying, and some of the people were saying some of the things that I even agree with. If Madeline was still alive, Jennifer Soto would be in jail. It's absolutely boggles my mind that if all of this was found out and Maddie was still here with us, Jennifer Soto would be behind bars right now. But because she isn't here to tell us, Jennifer walks free, gets to run away to a facility and not even attend her own daughter's funeral. What do you think? Will she be charged? I think of poor Madeline daily. I feel so bad that she lived that life for years, and highly doubt Stefan Sterns has absolutely, or Jennifer Soto has absolutely no knowledge. Why haven't they conducted more interviews with Jennifer Soto? This case is infuriating. I think it's infuriating too. I mean, this person said, why did Jennifer Soto get a lawyer? Because everybody should get a lawyer, in my opinion. Just because I don't like her doesn't mean I don't think that was a smart move. But of course, people are going to say it's because she is guilty. Why was Jennifer Soto on disability? Per her police statement, she was date raped and was so traumatized she couldn't work. I call BS. She's just lazy. How many men and women have horrible trauma and still show up to work every day because they are responsible adults? Okay, there are other women who may walk in Jennifer's shoes. I will give you that, and that she was not aware. Okay, let's reluctantly give her the benefit of the doubt. But being a vigilant mother and not wanting a Woody Allen situation, she sends a 13-year-old girl to bed with her boyfriend. She admits this numerous times, implying that implying this has happened on a semi-regular basis. This is where I find her disgustingly irresponsible. At the minimum, she should be charged with endangerment and the co-conspirator in the SA case. I agree with that. I concur. She was aware. She tracked Madeline's period. Why? Yeah, why? Really? Why? Great point. She would indeed be in jail. Do you guys think that if Madeline was alive today and it just had come out that Stefan was doing what he did to her and all this phone evidence, do you think that Jenn would be in jail sitting with Stefan waiting? I think it would be like a whole situation where they were trying to get her to be their witness. One of those for sure. Maybe cutting a deal with her. Maybe that's what they're doing now. I did find this Gavin Fish video. Jennifer Soto vanished into a mental hospital. Where is she now? This was 2 months ago, so I thought we would wrap up with this and try to maybe see where Jennifer Soto is now.
Coverage of the murder of Maddie Soto. Madeline was 13 years old. She had just had her birthday. She had had a birthday party on.
I mean, she was just 13 years old. I can remember when I was just 13 years old and I still felt very, 12, 11. I was a very young 13-year-old. I was still playing with my Barbies at 13. 13, 14 was when I decided I didn't want to play with Barbies. I was going to be a big person. And I just cannot even imagine if my mother was telling me to go sleep with my stepdad at that point.
Monday, February 25th at her grandmother's house. She was supposed to show up at school the following morning, and her mom's on again, off again boyfriend, Stefan Sterns, said that he took her there. But when police did some investigating, they discovered that he did not take her there. In fact, where he took her, disrespectfully and unlovingly, he took her deceased body and discarded it in a field.
And he strapped her into the front seat with him like she was just sleeping. It's just unbelievable.
Spending in the Osceola County Jail, starting to learn the ropes a little bit, at least that's what I think anyway, based on listening to all the phone calls. You and I have listened to all of them. This phone call, by the way, I will publish to my YouTube channel as soon as we're done with this conversation. Okay. All right. So that's how we're going to couch it, but I don't want to bury the lead. Okay. I have been scouring the internet. I have used other researchers. I have asked other content creators. I have asked other reporters. I have even asked my good old AI friend, ChatGPT. Jennifer Soto is nowhere to be found.
Yes.
This is Ms.
I didn't use all of the things that he used, but I used my own research skills and ChatGPT, and it's just really not saying where Jenn is.
Soto here.
And even the mainstream media isn't really saying where Jenn is.
She's laying low. I'm sure that there are people in her inner circle that know where she is. I'm sure her lawyer knows where she is. I'm sure her family does. But we, the members of the public, online sleuths, the true crime community, we don't know where she is. All we know is that Chris Sterns said in a call that under the advice of her counsel, she checked herself into a place for mental health help. Now, I don't know if that is some sort of ruse to get sympathy. I don't know if it is a way to be able to get away from the questions of the state's attorneys down there in the 9th Judicial District. I don't know if it is she wants to just be out of the spotlight and maybe mourn or grieve. I don't know. But she is out of the spotlight. She's laying low. Now, I do want to tell you guys that somebody reached out to me. You guys always know I'm always looking for a good guest, right? I love having good guests on my channel. Somebody reached out to me and we talked over the weekend. Somebody who is very qualified to talk about the psychological side of what might be happening with Jennifer Soto, with Stefan Sterns. And I think that it's going to warrant a much longer conversation. We might divide it into 2 or 3 or 4 segments. And I'm really looking forward to that. So if that's the kind of stuff that you like and you haven't subscribed, I invite you to do it. No pressure, no guilt. Just if you want to.
The classic where the mother is competing with the daughter. It's one of those situations where Jenn is just, for whatever reason, competing with her daughter.
Be able to be
I said yesterday, I mean, her daughter looked just like her. I think Jenn and Maddie look a lot alike, except Maddie got the blonde hair, blue eye version, and it looks like there might be some Hispanic or something in Jenn, and I don't think Jenn likes that person. And I just think that she was always competing with Maddie.
When that happens, I invite you to do that. Okay, so that is the short answer. Now, in this recently released telephone call audio,
I mean, what am I saying? Of course that's what was happening, because if you were worried that your daughter was going to Woody Allen you and steal your boyfriend, of course that's what was happening. So I just stated the obvious. Sorry about that, guys.
they actually talk a lot about things that they always talk about. Where's my watch? Stuff of value, stuff like that. They talk about that ad nauseum. But they also talk just a little bit more about Jennifer being checked into a mental health facility. They talk a little bit about Mr. Sterns' emotional reaction to Madeline's death. Now, remember, when this guy opens his mouth, it's likely a lie. Right? That's the way his dad described it. So we can't just listen to him and go, oh, yeah, what he's saying is the truth. But it does give us a little insight into how he is thinking. So without further ado, with further ado, if you're new to the channel, if you put GF in your comment on the live stream, for those of you who are watching live, you will that will make it so that I can see your comment on my side. It doesn't mean that I'm going to read your comment on the air, but I typically read most of the comments that come in. Okay, so use GF, and that will help me to see your comment. While we're listening to this, it's about 15 minutes long. I've skipped ahead a couple of minutes to get through just the automated dialing system. So we're at 2 minutes and 15 seconds in when we start this. So why don't we just go ahead and start it, and then I will be looking at your comments along the way.
I believe we listened to this phone call. I think I did it when Laura was on the channel. He's not very happy that Jennifer is in this rehabilitation, but let's go ahead and listen to it.
We're going to hear from you till tomorrow. Yeah, I didn't realize that I could actually call right back after the 15 minutes was up. Oh, I'm not walking, so it's just got to be you and me.
Okay, that's fine. You'd been asking me where the watch was, and I tried to quickly convey those instructions to you. Did you still need me to go over that with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So at the foot of my bed, there's a bunch of my, boxes from when I moved there.
Yes.
On top of those boxes, there should be a green tin with kind of like a gold eagle on the top of it. It's like a Warhammer ammo box tin. The watch is either in there, or if it's not in there, it's going to be in one of the boxes at the foot of my bed. If you look inside, there's a Disney popcorn bucket in the shape of a Star Wars mouse droid. It's like a little silver box with wheels on it, basically, and a brown strap. It could be in there because I put some important stuff in there. I think my Social Security card and birth certificate might be in there as well. Did you get that?
Okay. So describe this Disney pin again.
And for those of you that are new, I do.
All right, let's go forward and see if we can get to when he's talking about
that. I just thought I'd point that out.
Jenn.
It's a mouse droid popcorn bucket that's in one of the boxes at the foot of my bed. I see. Did you guys ever get the silver Lincoln back?
That's the extent of it. The extent of it. Okay, so she's institutionalized, trying to keep the cops off her. Okay, but I just thought I'd point that out.
It's a mouse droid popcorn bucket that's in one of the boxes at the foot of my bed. So it's just like a little silver, little boxy looking droid with a brown strap on it. It's actually a popcorn bucket. But I use it to store some documents and stuff, or the watch might be in there if it's not in the green tin on top of the boxes.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Some other things I wanted to ask. So you said that you went to the mental hospital. Whatever happened with...
This is the part.
I don't know what's happening because we don't know how to get a hold of anybody.
I see.
And supposedly it's institutionalized itself. So.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. What you said that was what, to keep the cops off of her?
Supposedly by the advice of her attorney.
I see. Did you guys ever get the silver Lincoln back?
That's the extent of it. The extent of it. Okay, so she's institutionalized, yeah, trying to keep the cops off her. Okay, yeah, okay. Did you get the Lincoln back?
I mean, I guess on a certain level, he knows that he's being recorded and that it's going to go out there. So what can he really say? But maybe say something.
Like, if you cared about this person, I just don't understand, Mr. Sterns, and I am so looking forward to my conversation with the expert. I'm not going to name her yet because we haven't got it all figured out.
Okay, let's go forward and see if he does more, where we can see if he figured anything out about where
Hard
Jenn
on,
is.
on Stefan Sterns, and I'm sorry that his parents are dragged into this. Like, I honestly, in the beginning, I thought that they were.
I do feel bad for his parents as well. But his parents don't seem like they kind of knew he was a dirtbag before, like probably didn't know that he was this big of a dirtbag, but I mean, they didn't believe him, and I mean, he stole from them, so I do feel horrible for the parents. I usually do feel horrible for the when whoever the person is that did it, like for Brian Kohlberger's parents, I feel bad for them. For Chris Watts' parents, I feel bad for them. I don't feel bad from a parent usually right at first if they come out swinging and are a jerk, but eventually you do realize that they're victims too, and there's no perfect victim. Some victims come out swinging and some come out cowering. It's just people are victims in different ways. And so there's no perfect victim, and they are victims.
The doctor's Frankenstein, and they'd created a monster.
But they are lucky that their son gets to live, and Maddie had to lose her life.
Unleashed on the world, and now they're living with it. I no longer believe that. I issued an apology for that. I do think that Stefan Sterns was coddled by his mom. I do think that he was enabled by his dad, but I don't think that they purposefully created a monster here. I just think that they just kind of deal with it. And I'm sorry for them, because I don't think that they are like, what are their names? Chris and Roberta Laundrie, right? I don't think that they are like horrible. That. I honestly think Chris and Roberta Laundrie did everything they could to prevent the discovery of Gabby Petito's body and to prevent.
Yeah, and somebody said to me a few days ago that, or did I see it on a video, that they believe that the Laundries actually were the ones that unalived their son. Like they took him out, or they did it themselves. And so because they came back and they turned his room into a guest room when they were out. People were out looking for him. They in no way expected Brian to come home. In no way.
Police from
just like they in no way expected Gabby to come home.
Getting justice. I think that they hid their son. I think they let him escape. I think that's what they did. The Sotos, the Sterns, I don't think did that. But it does tickle me a little bit that it bothers them that this is a crime that so many of us are covering.
YouTuber use that information to dig up information about when your mom and I had our issues 20, 30 years ago, and brought that up. Her clickbait headline says, $3,700 lawsuit, some creditor suing you. So, you're taking everything
Yeah, I don't think that had happened yet at this point, but I don't know.
and everything and try to make something of it when nothing exists. But supposedly calling you a mama's boy and what have you. So it's quite a circus. I don't watch any of it. People just.
Hey, by the way, Susan, as one of our new researchers, maybe you could grab that information and share it with me over in Slack. I would love to know that because I just couldn't find anything about it. So if she is at a family member's home, I would love.
They keep saying over in his chat that they heard that court TV that Maddie's father and his counsel picked up a portion of Maddie's ashes about 10 days ago, and that Jenn answered the door at her family member's home. So it's they were saying in his chat that Jenn is living with her sister. I mean,
I would love to see that interview.
It's not been proven. So I don't think even Gavin knows where Jenn is. It sounds like Jenn's laying low. Over on Court TV, they have a whole playlist of Jennifer Soto. I thought each day this week leading up to the court case, we're going to do a little Maddie Soto live to get our own selves caught up. So I thought tomorrow we would look over on more Jenn and also maybe start re-listening to Stefan Sterns' prison phone calls. So that's what I have planned. What do you guys think? Do you think Jenn Soto should be charged? And do you also, it's a two-part question. Do you think Jenn Soto, maybe let's make it a three-part. Should Jenn Soto be charged? Will Jenn Soto be charged? That's part 2. And part 3 is, will we see Jenn Soto in court during this ex abuse? I think Jenn should be charged. I don't think she will be charged. And I don't think we're going to see her in the courtroom. Those are my answers. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. Have you heard of our Dragonfly program? Here, let me show you a little something about it. And if you're not subscribed, why are you not subscribed? I would really, really, really love to have you as a power subscriber. If you really like my content, be sure to become a Dragonfly, and that's our membership, and it's $2.99 a month. I release all my videos early. We have special emojis over in the chat room. I kind of share things ahead of time with my Dragonflies, and I go live sometimes just for the Dragonflies. It's a way that I can support you guys and give you more content, and it's a way for you to support our channel. It's $2.99 a month, and I would love to have you. Welcome to all our new Dragonflies this month. And I would love to have all of you as a Dragonfly. I put the link up on the screen. It will be in the show notes, and it is pinned in chat. So it will be very easy for you to join us. I'd love to have you here with us. I'm going to go. If nobody's told you this today, and even if they have, I'm still going to tell you guys this. I love you guys so, so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
I miss my cue, but baby, I had you.